Hello, and thank you, Ben, and the team to inviting me a second time. It's an honor to be here. As you can take it from my accent, I'm from Germany, and we are told we have no humor, we can't crack any jokes. I'm going to try it anyways, because I'm talking about data today, and I think everybody today talked about data. From the very first presentation to my last one here, it's all about data. So the President of the United States is visiting Germany, and a young boy comes running up to him and says, Mr. President, my father says, you know everything about us. And the President of the United States looks down at the young boy and says, young man, that's not your father. So, anyways, predictive analytics with clinical decision support software. My name is Thorsten Waloschek, I'm the CEO of Neopredix, and I have one mission I think that everybody in this room can share with me, making sure that every baby has the best possible start into life. At Neopredix, we claim to support the world's most underserved patient population, pregnant women and newborn babies. And we want to make sure to help you, clinicians, to the early identification of tomorrow's critical patients to optimize healthcare today. Now, I don't want to talk too much about my company. I did that last time. Just one slide, how we do this. So we use, as many other companies, thousands of data sets, and we run it through a pharmacometric model. And it's a combination, and I have to read this because the words are difficult to me, physiological, biological, and pharmacological data, and we are marrying that with medical and clinical know-how that we have in the company. And we are able to identify the few predictive parameters that really make a difference. And the product I presented last year here is a prediction of bilirubin levels into the future, and we found the 5 parameters that really make a difference from all of the background noise that's out there. And we put that into a user interface, and this is a software as a service that allows to predict the dynamic progression of bilirubin. Now, I want to talk about data, and the challenge for us in the industry to really get hold of the data. A few definitions: predictive analytics, a technology that learns from past data to predict the future outcome. And predictive analytics have been around for many, many years. It's nothing new. Now, the difference between a forecast and a prediction, and I'm referring to a second project that we are working on now, we are also moving into maternal care. A forecast is, in the coming years, more women will experience high blood pressure, leading to an increase in cases of preeclampsia. I think that's almost common knowledge, at least in this room here. Now, the prediction is the identification of individual women who will actually develop preeclampsia. That's what we're working on. This is predictive analytics. It's not statistics. It's predicting the future. But for that, we need data. And here's the challenge. There's a lot of talk about digital medicine, digital health. What does it look like in the future? And I took just 5 years from today, a glimpse into the future. And the glimpse into the future is that data is widely available. It's shared freely. Our health data is shared freely. And it's available to innovators, to R&D, to universities, to the industry, to provide services to you to deliver better healthcare. And what does it look like today? Data is still often recorded on paper. I mean, I know I'm here in the United States, coming from Germany, from Europe. Paper-based documentation is the norm, is the standard in many, many hospitals, university clinics. The data exchange between healthcare facilities, I'm not even talking about the industry, between hospital 1 and 2 is just not happening. They're not sending paper. Lack of collaboration, sharing health data, and then, and this is the industry to blame, it's us, inadequate hardware, software interfaces, and user interfaces and user experiences. We ask you to fill in some data into some interfaces that are not really built to be convenient and easygoing. So the industry is to blame here. Then we have a lot of isolated data sources. First of all, as I mentioned, hospitals are challenged to really record data in a harmonized way, as some of the speakers already talked about. Then even if that happens, now 2 hospitals talking to each other, if they not belong to the same system, sometimes it's close to impossible. And remember, I'm from Germany, we have the GDPR, exchange of data is a no-go. And last but not least, even if 2 hospitals share data, then to giving that data to the industry is another hurdle that we are faced daily in order to come up with new software. Now, one of the examples here from the United States is the Mayo Clinic platform. I'm not talking about the Mayo Clinic, I'm talking about the Mayo Clinic platform. They're really trailblazers of digital medicine. They have an anonymized data record of more than 7.5 million patient records. And we have access to that, and we are allowed to work with that. And there's provisions for R&D to work with that data, and they share the data inside commercial partnerships with the industry. So that is really helping us to innovate. A study that I would like to share with you and just encourage you to read is the utopia of full data disclosure. I think it's 2 or 3 years old. Are smartphones eroding solidarity? Sounds a little weird. It's free of charge on the internet. You can download it. It's a wonderful outlook how to share data and the pros and cons of doing that. And they actually have 4 different concepts that they share. The one that I like most is the big community concept. What does it mean? As I said initially, data is shared among all of us in this room, in this city, in this country, around the world. And health data is not seen as a proprietary set of valuable data. Now the value comes by sharing. And of course that's utopia, but that is something that would really help. Now, even if that works, and we can overcome the challenges of data silos in hospitals, lack of digitalization and utilization, of course we need to run up this pyramid that I'm sure you're aware of, to then turn data into knowledge. If that's wisdom, I don't know, but in something that you can work with. But for that we need data. And of course, coming from Germany, I have to quote one of the German philosophers and poets. As Goethe said, knowledge alone is not enough. And that is my call to action. We must take action. So please share data. Please talk about in your institutions, in the companies you're dealing with, inside the healthcare systems. How can we share data, make it available to really help to come up with better solutions? Now, we also need to demystify machine learning in healthcare. Medicine is far too complex to really be handled by an individual human being. And just for reference, the amount of medical data, of medical knowledge that is available, if all of that would be burned off into an old traditional CD-ROM, remember those days, CD-ROMs? And they're all stacked up, that pile of knowledge will reach the moon 7 times. That is the availability of medical knowledge today. And every second, there's new articles being published. So how should anyone, the most genius doctor in the world, work with that knowledge? So let's make that data available. Let's share that. Here's the key steps that we see for the hospital of the future. We all need to talk to the legislators in our countries, in our cities, in our institutions to make it possible, to make data sharing possible and to give it away freely. Of course, anonymized, but give it and share it freely. Of course, ensuring data privacy and ethical standards, and make sure that partnerships between technology companies and healthcare facilities are possible. And with that call to action, I would like to invite you to making sure that we all accomplish our mission in making sure that every baby has the best possible start into life. Thank you very much.